Them call me Lan Tourist. Put me no business. Every year, millions of visitors come to this beautiful island, and plenty of them know it better than me. My time now, our time now to enjoy the island.
Rivers and mountains, such a beautiful scene. The heartland of a people, so pure and clean.
This is my admission fee, white rum. You are in charge of Accompong Town?
I am in charge of Accompong.
Okay.
Good morning, and welcome to Accompong.
Thank you very much. I'm Lan Tourist.
Yeah, and my name is Mark, right, aka Kutu.
Oh, Kutu.
Yeah. At this present, there are 4 remaining Maroon settlements inside of Jamaica. Accompong, where you're standing, Charlestown, which is in Portland, Moortown, which is in Portland, and Scotsall, which is in St. Mary. It was mild that someone falling and relate to Captain Kojo that the British Army came close to invade. What he did at that time, he go and set a trap. And the trap that he set, it was an ambush trap. So that's how we come to combat and the British Army, and they got defeated. Just because of the history and the culture of this area, this person who lives here still respect to know that he lives on a seal ground, because the entire area is a seal ground.
Okay.
This one over here, it's an earth grave, all earth. He requests to bury in this pattern. He still get his pretty casket.
Yes, it's nice. Okay.
Nice, 200 and
but
over 1,000 casket.
Under.
He's 6'6" under the ground.
Oh, he's truly 6'6" under.
Yes. The Paragon is located here, and it was where Kojo used to train his soldiers during the war days. They never used to say training, they used to say parading them around to get them fit. After parading them around, then they would lead out to Kinda, where they would sit and formulate the war plans. This plaque now tells you the story about Kinda, where Kinda, the whole area has a
family.
Yeah, and this was where Kojo formulated the war plans, how to counteract the British. And the plans that he made was such a victorious one that from 1738-39 until today, here is where we started the festival, the feasting of the festival for January 6th. We always pour some liberation to give them as a token to say we are not here to molest their spirit, but we are here with friends just passing through to learn our history and our culture. So we say Kojo, Coffee, Kwaku, Johnny, Nani, Kumba.
Accompong, Kwanki, and Nina.
I get my rub up. I'm protected from my spirits now. Just gonna sit down here and meditate a little while before I continue around the village. So I'll catch you when I come back. I should just pour some in here, so right now. No man, I'll see you when I come back.
Lan Tourist is brought to you by Air Jamaica and sponsored by Ting and Chukka Caribbean Adventures.
There's nowhere like my island home.
This now is the type of house we used to live in the olden days. This process is called wattling, and after wattling we would mix the red mud and plaster it with the waste from the cow and some trash to pad it to get it airtight. After that, then we would burn the limestone, and what we'll do with the limestone, we'll use it to make a wash, we call it whitewash. The roof is made from, this grass is called wire grass, and as you see we have layer over layer over layer, and then we have a next layer up there, then we'd have a ridge. But what also we used to do with the floor, we used to damp it and use like board or coconut bowl to beat it and get it slippery and shine. And then we'd use like Spanish needle to rub it and it would give it a sheen. Now we're going to move through this hut and then we're going to go over to one of the older cemetery.
Paradopi.
As you see, this is Maroon burial ground. What we used to term them as in the olden days were burial ground. We never used to say cemetery. Because as I tell you before, the English changed the whole doctrine of the community, giving us English language and things. So what we used to use to mark all these cemetery burial ground to was different plants. Like the dragon blood, the croton, the rose apple, the calabash tree and things like those is what we plant and mark. So whenever time we go through the mountain and we see croton, dragon blood or things like that, we know somebody is buried here sometime before.
They use these stones to mark. You can, maybe you could work over that, but you could not come inside to do it. So they use the stone to border the area. So it's gonna go over to go in the farming area.
And see the leaf of the dragon blood here. Yeah. So even in the Pocomina, the revival church, you always see they have this in bottles with water too.
So this whole area now is burial ground?
Burial ground, and we're going to walk just alongside it. But what's going to happen as we go along now, the guys are going to, when we get back out on the main street, the guys are going to display some herbs here and tell you the uses of them. The hackberry tree, he's holding the hackberry tree. And it's some liquor berries, and you see we just share two together, and they really have a nice taste.
As we're talking about the herbs, as if you go along, we can show you about the herbs, man. So this bush we call it the bitter bush.
This one?
This bitter bush. If you have a sweeter blood, you boil this one and drink it. It's good for a sweeter blood, purge you out and so forth.
For what kind of blood? What kind of blood is this?
Sweet, like if you have
diabetes. Diabetes?
Yeah. And also what used to happen with this same bush too, like when the midwife used to take care of the ladies with a young baby, you know, they used to have a pail, they boil some of this and the lady would sit over it and it like steam and help to heal the inside.
Oh, okay.
And it's also a cold bush, it's called Jackie Saga, or Tanpan Rock, and liver fly.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, you can put the both of them together, juice them or boil them also. Good for your cold. Okay.
I drank that when I was a little child. I had a terrible cold before that.
This is a serious one. You don't want this one to touch this one.
Which one? Which
only
one?
the razor.
This one here with a sharp edge?
Yeah, our courage, it scratches, itches, you know.
Oh. That, what do you call it?
Courage.
Oh, courage.
Yeah,
but that's what we call it, courage. Courage. What is this now?
This bush called John Charles.
What that do?
If you have cold or flu or fever, you can boil liquor of it and drink it. And this one called fever grass.
Yes.
Make some nice tea in the morning with milk. And you have pimento bush. And the pimento bush, if you're cooking pork, you can put a liquor to spice it up. And you have chungback.
But this one is a female one.
Okay.
And this one is the male one.
But this is the one I just saw.
Yes. What happened to the strongback? The strongback, the chainy root, the blairlis and all those different herbs and things makes the root tonic good for the male's sex drive.
Okay. Alright.
It's called a penguin maca, and it was used in the olden days to protect the farm, so the animal could not get inside. So it was like the barbed wire. This was used in the olden days.
That means the barbed wire?
The barbed wire.
Alright.
Right, so they used to use this.
It looks like aloe.
Fencing.
But that looks like aloe. The aloe.
It's a family.
Alright.
Yes.
Dryland Tourist is brought to you by Air Jamaica and sponsored by Ting and Chocker Caribbean.